Hey everyone, it's Brandon Ayton from Game Recognized Games. Today we're going to be going over Ice Cool. It's by Brain Games. It's a Brian Gomez design. It's an award-winning game. Has the Dice Tower Seal of Excellence. Won awards at the UK Gaming Expo. It's a fantastic game. It's one of the favorites in our household. So we're going to go over a brief rundown of the rules and kind of how you play it, and then we'll have some final thoughts. One of the cool things about this design is that everything fits into the main box. It's almost like a Matryoshka doll, but when we take a look at it, all the pieces come out like this, and they're assembled in particular order. When we look at the dots by each doorway, we find the corresponding dots on other boxes, and then you'll clip those with fish. I'm going to go on and do that, and then we'll see the setup. So once the board is set up, you'll notice that there are colored fish over certain doorways. Those are doorways that a player will have to go through in order to collect their own fish. The entire point of the game is to make sure that you end the game with, or end the round with, your hall pass, or if you're on the other side, that you collect all the hall passes, and that's what will end the round. Players take turns trying to cut class, as a penguin is wont to do, or to be the hall monitor to, as I say, collect these hall passes. Your characters are these little Weeble-like penguins that, when placed on the board, as you can see, they wobble and roll and do all kinds of stuff. You will end up starting in the room here with that yellow and red dot, and whoever is the hall monitor will start in this room. You're going to be trying to go through and collect your fish, as I said earlier, and when you do, you will also get some of these cards, which are drawn at random from a large stack. Now, the cards are what are used to evaluate who wins the game. Whoever has the most points wins. However, the ones have a special ability. If you ever have two of them, you can pretty much burn these cards and use what they call the ice skates rule, which means effectively you get to take another turn. So I'm going to show you a little bit how this works, and then we'll go on and have some final thoughts. So these player markers are weighted on the bottom, like I said earlier. Depending on how you flick them, they will curve different trajectories. So flick them on the right side, they'll go that way. Flick them on the left side, there's potential for them to curl that way and go through that doorway. You can also just give them a good solid flick and try to see how far you can go. Now, the really cool thing about these two is in the rule book they actually show some additional strategies, like flicking very hard on top to potentially flip end over end and land over here. You'll see in all of these rooms there is a red line about 1.5 inches away from the edge of the board. Now, if your pawn starts over here or over here, before you start, you can move up to the nearest point on the red line, so you can have opportunity to flick and move different ways. Now, the entire time, the hall monitor will also be able to try to track us down, and if their pawn ever hits us, even if it's accidentally or if they're going after someone else or bounce off a wall, however they do that, then they are able to take the student ID of that particular player. They get all the student IDs, then the round immediately ends. Or the round immediately ends if, say, this blue pawn collected all of their blue fish. So that's the basics of Ice Cool. Man, this is such a fun game. I love this game. I've played this game with my kids, as I said earlier. I played this game with a group of adults at parties. This game is just, it's a lot of fun. Brain Games just released an announcement of an Ice Cool 2. So there'll be additional rooms. It looks like it's going to be compatible with this game as well. So probably have additional layouts. It looks like it's just going to be more of the same. They might have some additional twists. I'm not sure. But all in all, if it's more of the same, that's still a win for me. But as I said, you know, since this is a family game and I do play it with my kids a lot, I really want you all to hear from my son Eli about what he thinks of Ice Cool. Eli?
What?
Do you like Ice Cool?
Yes.
What is your favorite part about Ice Cool?
Flicking the penguins.
Flicking the penguins. Do you want to see more Ice Cool in the future?
Yes.
Like expansions and more games, more rooms?
Yes.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Ice Cool? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
10.
So, those are our thoughts about Ice Cool from Brain Games. This has been Eli and Brandon from Game Recognized Games.
Thank you.
Thank you.